Hey everyone, David here from the Five and Dime, and as you can see on the piece that I'm working on, there is a gap there. So I'm going to be using my Titebond Quick and Thick as part of the process to correct this. I believe that this crack or gap or whatever you want to call it was caused just by changes of temperature. So this was stored for a while outside in the garage, so over the summer, over the winter, and those fluctuations in temperature will cause wood to contract and expand, and this also applies to glues and that as well. So you do need to be careful on where you're storing your piece. So I have the syringes that I got off of Amazon that I use for glue for filling in areas like this. And so I'm coming in first to fill the gap with some of the Titebond Quick and Thick. I've done this a few times now, and I really find that this is a quicker way to fill these gaps. And basically, what I'm going to do is fill it in as much as possible, and I am shooting that glue right into the piece to make sure that it is completely full. Once I'm happy that there's enough glue set inside of it, I'm taking paper towel to wipe off the excess, and then I will take a baby wipe and wipe off any of the excess off the outside. I don't want the glue leaving a residue on top of the paint. I'm actually not clamping this, and the reason I'm not clamping this is because if I do clamp it, there's a chance that there's going to be another area that may crack when I try to squeeze that gap together. So the quickest and most efficient way to do this is to actually fill in the gap versus gluing it and then clamping it together because of the way the structure of this piece is made. It's made in a couple different sections and then glued all together. But if I try to squeeze that together, it's possible it's going to crack in another spot. So this is going to be the most effective way for me to correct this. I find this much quicker than trying to use wood filler, etc. And I also find that it's a two-part process in the sense that basically what's going to happen is that it's going to fill the gap. It doesn't shrink, but it also glues the piece so that it again is more structurally sound. I'm going to give this a few hours to dry completely. I want to make sure that it is absolutely dry before I move on to the next step. And my next step is going to be to come in with Dixie Belle mud just to skim over the top. It's like doing a skim coat on plaster, and that will just smooth it out so there's no transition between the gap and the paint. So, and then I'll give it its second coat. So after skim coating and giving it a second coat, it's pretty much invisible. All right, stay tuned, follow along. Ciao.